Good morning, everybody. I've been working for an hour and thinking about stuff that's important for me. And right now, I want to talk about things that are important for all of us, you and me. And you've been tagged. That means that universe is gently touching you on the shoulder because it's time to wake up, to walk, to move, to do your thing, to be you. And today we will talk about relationship and business. Relationship is a business. Business is a business of relationships. And you might ask, how am I qualified to talk about business? Well, not everybody knows what I do. Some people think I'm just spiritual, esoteric woman out there. I have a long experience in coaching personal growth and development for a person and a business is my theme. This is what I love to do. Because the business cannot grow if you are personally deprived, if you don't have enough energy to act upon your decisions, if you don't have an ability to make a decision because you are doubting, if you wake up without having a very clear agenda for the day goes by very fast. I had a few businesses. In some, I've been a managing partner, and some I was in partnership with somebody else, like my school, for example, in Chicago, that had 450 children in 3 locations. And some, I did it by myself, even though I had an investor, somebody above me. I was still running it. So in how I feel about the business is I don't want to do anything alone. Absolutely not. Because this is who I am. I need a partnership. And the reason for it is I'm born on 25th. And 5 is always about communication. I can sell anything to anybody, but I prefer to have somebody, number 2, in relationship with me who will make major decisions. I will always influence those decisions. I will be truthful because 2 is about relating to other people in a way that I'm noticing everything, I'm seeing everything, I know everything, and I always tell the truth. And 5 is about bending the rules so you can do exactly what you need to do in the business without compromising your safety and security. Because my summary of all the numbers in my date is 9, and 9 is about safety and security. And can you believe it? I'm working with businessmen who are in police, in firefighting career, people who protect other people. And also, when I work with businessmen, I help people establish where do they lack the information or analysis or the structure or their own personal competences to be the leader they're meant to be. So not only that I have my own experience in business, not only I've studied in school, my degree, my master was instructional leadership, how to grow leaders out of people who want to be leaders, and how to realize who might not ever be 100% leader. So the ambition, the ego says, I want to be first, but the potential is not there necessarily. But potential and talent is in something else. So it's important to recognize. And I was always able to recognize my own potential and understand that I don't need to be in charge. I just need to be in charge. When I'm charged in my field, everything grows, things get multiplied. And that's why I am qualified. Because I multiply everything. Things that are not useful for the business come up to your face and you go, wow, I've never thought about it this way. And many of you who've been in my sessions probably remember that moment when you go, wow, that's what it is. I've never thought of it. And I also am strategic because I'm number 7 in summary of my birthday. So I didn't understand any of that before I started studying numbers as energies. Because there are a lot of energies around you all the time, they're circulating. But particular energy affect particular results, material results in your life. And if you think about business, business is about resources, right? Business is not about getting resources from something else. Of course, if you decide to take a construction loan, loan or you take a development loan, that needs to be very well calculated, because when you're taking money, you're taking somebody else's money. But when you're giving them back, those are yours money. Your money is very hard to give. So the consciousness need to be clear. The goal needs to be clear. The competencies have to work before you take any loans. Because again, a lot of my business clients have gotten some loans, especially during the time where everything was on lockdown, and government supported us in getting your business out of the big hole where it got, because the clients were locked at home. And yes, that is wonderful, but then how you use your resources is very, very important. So rule number one, have resources before you take resources. Rule number two, when you take something, when you get resources, this is an action that creates a consecutive action. You use the resources, and then you have to pay back those resources. So before you do all of that, the goal of how you're going to use the money needs to be extremely clear. How do you set up a goal? Well, go back to relationships. Your business has relationships with the world. You have relationship with the world, and you have relationship with yourself. So yourself is all about, I want more money, I want more material stuff in my life, bigger car, bigger house, more travel. I want to give gifts, I want to bless everybody, I want to feel powerful and influential and all of that. And I want to look good, I want to take as many spa days as possible, dress well, have a comfortable and yet very beautiful shoes. All of that is a great idea, and that's what many people use to go into the business. And that is the goal of taking resources from somebody to sustain your life. 80% of the people are giving resources to sustain the life of the 20% who's taking resources. So 20% are the people who are doing very intellectual manipulation, little bit of a manipulation, because in relationship we always manipulate each other, right? When your freedom starts, somebody else's freedom has to be compromised, because we always occupy space where we are with other people. So manipulation is not bad or good. It's just managing of your resources, and people are your resources. But when you're managing people with the clear goal to get as much resources as possible and to give as little as possible, that's not going to work well. That is karma. Karma is not an esoteric word. Karma is action that creates another action, another action, another action. Karma is a rippling effect. You drop the pebble of your intention in the ocean of relationship, in the ocean of the world, in the ocean of suppliers, manufacturers, equipment, people, clients, auditors, IRS. You drop the pebble of your intention, and that intention creates rippling effect. You think it only creates rippling effect toward your clients, because I want more clients, right? I want more money and I want more material possession. But unfortunately or fortunately, the pebble of your intention works in a mystical way. The mystical means there is no mystical in this life. It's just some things we don't know, so it looks like magic. But intention is energy and information. So how you are on that day and how you appear in relationship with the world, which is people. Essentially, everything is people. Even your manufacturing ends up with another person who is creating business to give you the supplies you need and equipment that you need. HR is giving you the people you need. So there are layers and layers of relationships. And those relationships are relationships with you. So depending on your energy of the day, depending how you woke up and what's on your personal calendar, today is the day of success for everybody through love and connection. That's why I'm doing this broadcast about relationships. Yesterday was the day before that special day. So as you are experiencing this day, think about everything that you love, including your business, and if you don't love it, what can you find in this business to love? Think about people you're in a relationship with, in your business and at home and with your friends, and who you don't love, find something to love about them, because every person is lovable as a little child. I spoke with my friends a couple of days ago, and they say, well, up to 6 months, it was a sunshine. A sunshine all of a sudden turned into sun in a cloud, and what will happen later? And that's true. For 6 months, everything is wonderful, even our relationship. And then later on, we see some other things, because nature makes it so that the first thing that happens to us, or the first thing we meet in life, including children or including our lovers, our relationship, create hormonal disbalance, so we can continue the relationship at least for 6 months. Why it's so important for nature, we can make babies or projects. Morning. And then why it's so important for us to understand that we are not birds, because birds mate, put an egg into the nest, build a nest, put an egg in it, sit on the egg, get the child, and kick the child out of the nest, all within a couple months. We are destined to be with each other for a much longer time. I prefer to be together for life. And the intention, the very important intention, that I'm dropping into the as a pebble in the ocean of relationship, is I'm here to build relation for life. I'm here to sustain the relation, because I'm 25, my birthday, so part of me wants that relationship forever. 5, on the other hand, wants to move on, create more connection, to experience more experience, to sell myself as a partner to everybody, because I'm really great as a partner. Even if you are in a coaching partnership with me, you start multiplying. So I see the results, and I know it's very useful. At the same time, my primary relationship, my primary goal, and my primary pebble is to maintain the relationship that I have. And that is the goal that needs to be, must be, above my ego, above my personality. So in the business, it's the same thing. When you bring people into your business, you don't know who they are. Just like we don't know who they are in relationships. We think, because for 6 months we have pink eyeglasses. What do you see through pink eyeglasses? I'm not very sure. But definitely not the whole truth and only truth. You see some things that another person tells you or shows you. So we are wearing masks. What do you see when I'm wearing mask? Nothing. You see exactly the face I want to show you. And by the way, masks are always worn over your eyes. And eyes are the mirror of the soul. So listen to the language, whatever language you speak, you find those wisdom ideas everywhere. So when you meet somebody, you don't know how things will be. But if the intention is about, I don't know how things will be, we'll see. I don't know. Meanwhile, I'm going to do some other relationship. I'm going to look around. I'm not going to be committed. You're not going to get a success. By the way, when I've immigrated to America, we've immigrated with 4 suitcases, nothing behind. We left for real. So when we came here and we realized, well, we only have 4 suitcases, 2 of which were full of children's clothes, we understood that we need to do something. We need to strategize, because the goal was to survive and make sure the children survive and make sure nobody gets sick and everybody has enough food, basic needs, right? So that's the goal. So the ego, the story of who I am, went all the way down under the goal. The goal was to make some money. Some people were saying, but I am a high-level architect, I'm a high-level engineer. Well, I was a high-level educational dean, the school director, the teacher. I taught parents, I had groups, I had all that I had, and I taught children and adults. And then I was working as a babysitter for $2.50. My next job, my improvement was $4.25. So I truly believe that you need to start somewhere. And if you want to start high, great, but that is sometimes slowing down your process. And maybe you get more money, but you don't have as much education. Because what I've learned being an American family, people who sat at home didn't learn. And what I've learned being a babysitter for the group of people, a group of children in the community center, people who've been other places, sitting home waiting for a higher salary, didn't learn. And the relationships that I've built got me to being a coordinator of a small school of 20 children, and other people give us opportunities, not money. So I still had $4.25, but that opportunity allowed me to expand my business, and my business is education. So I love it, I want it, I do it. I get $17,000 within 2 months. Wow. If I would sit at home, I probably would not get that. Mind you, it was 30 years ago. So then I go, okay, great. I am so great. People don't let me go from the first job for $4.25. And people are offering me a new job for $17,000. What do? I go to $4 people and I say, I'm invited to another job. I'm leaving you. And she goes like, I'll give you $4.50. I'm like, great. But then I go to my $17,000 person. That's how birthday 5 or 15, 14 or 23, those are the birthdays that are 5, make a 5 together. So I go and I say, well, I have another job. They offering me more money. And my new employer says, okay, no problem, 19,000. Will you go for 19,000? Okay, fine. And so from there, I learn, I understand. My English gets better because I learn German in Russian school. And then I get the next position, director of the school. And then the next position, the strategic coach, educational coach for the whole organization that has 8 centers. So now I have a school that I am directing with 3 locations, and then I also have at the same time retreats I organized and classes I lead for adults. Okay, all because I went to American family and start learning English and understanding American people, because our mentality is different. When Russians ask you how are you, you tell them the whole story, including your mother-in-law. And when Americans ask you how are you, smile and nod, I'm okay. But because I'm Russian at heart, my language, native language is Russian, of course. My education is in that same cultural upbringing. I take people to the heart as much as I could possibly do. And with me, people open up and they tell me the whole story, even sometimes when I don't ask for it. So what I realize that when you are open to receive, you get. This is a very deep thought. When you're open to receive, you get. In business, we're open to receive money. We want money. And money is a material thing. It cannot materialize before you have energetic thing, which is finding the relationship of love and connection, safety and security. Because then you can be open to receive. And you receive the person. And in that relationship, you understand the person. Once you understand the person, you can really talk to that person. You can really understand what my talent is, what that person's talent is, how can we co-create together, how can we give each other opportunities to expand on our talent, to bring our potential forth. If you do not understand another person, you cannot offer what you have, because that person might absolutely not need it. I've tagged a lot of people today. I've tagged people who are on my page for many, many years. I have 2,500 followers, and all of these people came to me for some reason. But today I tag those who need to hear me. How do I know that? Because I do it randomly. I trust that my finger will touch exactly the button that needs to be touched, and the person who needs to hear it will have that opportunity, will have that potential to hear something that might turn their life upside down, and therefore some people are not going to open my broadcast. And for some people, the life will turn to the other corner where the light is brighter. So I'm a crisis manager. So if you're in crisis and you don't want to participate in a broadcast, that's exactly why. Because you are at the brink of the crisis. Sometimes when people come to me and 2 weeks later they experience some huge crisis, they go like, oh my God, as soon as I start working with you. I'm like, no, you had the crisis coming, you just didn't notice it. I was just telling you a week ago that it might be happening. You start paying attention and you notice it a little bit before. So how it works is when I work with people, I look into who are you working with? Who are the people around you? And who do you truly understand and receive? Because if you feel that you cannot receive that person and you have a disagreement in your family or in your business, because all of it is business. Everywhere you have a budget, everywhere you have a goal, a material goal, and everywhere you need to work in cooperation, whether it's your family or your work family or your community or your parents, always, or your children, always you need that cooperation. Operation of the business, cooperation is operation of the business with other people. So when I talk about relationships, it's not about how can I love or hate the person. It's about what's good for the business, which is the goal. The goal of the business is I have enough resources. That means I take care of my resources. Every morning I walk, I do not schedule clients in the morning because I need to take care of my body. I need to clear my mind. While you're sleeping, your mind is full of images and stuff, even if you don't remember them. And then you need to clear it up. By the way, you have a central meridian, so moving your hand like that will also help. So I need to move to clear myself up from the energies of the night, open my eyes to the sun, and take the sun in. So my serotonin kicks in, my melatonin kicks out, and I can be very fully energized and functional. And then, only then, and while I'm doing it, I drink water, of course, because water is 80% of our body is made out of water. No water, no conductivity, no electricity, no energy, no business. If you don't have enough resources, sometimes you're just dehydrated. So before I start walking, I drink, and I take a bottle on my walk. And then throughout the day, you need to drink. By the way, aloe vera juice added to the water will help you move more oxygen through your blood. Just an idea. I'm also a health coach. I just don't want to pay attention to that because health is the necessary resource for your business. Some people say, well, I don't have enough money to start the business. I'm losing money in my business. This is not the money you're losing. There is a compromise in relationship to yourself first. You're not taking care of your own resources. Then you have compromised relationship in the family, most likely, because when you're exhausted and when you're worried and when you do not have a clear goal or don't have a clarity of what kind of system I need to build to bring the business to life, of my life, business of my life, or business of my business, or business of relating to my children, all of those businesses will be compromised more if you are not having enough energy, we call it. Energy is electricity of the body. So if your electricity is low, for example, in Russian wall, the outlet is 220 volts. In American wall is 110. Bring Russian equipment, stick it in, it's not going to work. Bring American equipment, stick it in the 220, it'll burn. So it's important to understand what kind of electricity do you have, which is produced by your words and actions into the world. So you're always, you are a production line. You're always producing a material result. A material result is not visible yet, but it is in the material plane because your energy, your pebble of intention, I want more money, more resources, is there. And some people feel it. Oh, she wants something from me. Well, yes, that's true. But what you want, morning, is up to you. You can shift your wanting of a result in the material plane to relationship. I want to build relationship that create opportunity, 100% for me, 100% for others. Not 5% for me, 20% for others, the rest of it for my children. No. I build relationships which allow me to be fully present in the world. I don't use all my energy on my co-workers, or on my children, or on my parents. Yes? I use the resources. So, what are resources? Energy does not have positive or negative, contrary to popular belief. Energy is energy. It could have high voltage, low voltage. So if you want your business, which is your equipment of money making, to be my husband, amazing, driving, he's biking every day, great. So if you want your energy to be optimal, first of all, you need to realize what kind of energy. How do you realize it? If you are upset, depressed, out of ideas, judging, criticizing, envying, thinking you're not capable, thinking it's not now because you don't have time or money, this means your energy is pretty low, and therefore you cannot really use it to ignite anything in your life. No relationship could be ignited with shame, blame, guilt, obligation. That actually kills relationship. If you feel interested, enthusiastic, what is this and what is that and who is this and what they're about, when you have that kind of energy, you are pretty high. If you understand people, this is your marker. This is the energy of understanding is 400. Forgiveness, give it forward, and understanding. What do you give forward is very simple. You decide what my business is doing for people. And yes, it could be a simple business of any kind or very hard, structurally complex business. The business is not to make money. The structure of the business is to help people in something, satisfy some of the needs of the people. And the money is a side effect. And of course, you need to analyze the financial structure and safety, security, resourcefulness of your business. Of course. But you start with relationship to the world, which is also relationship to the people, which is what am I doing for people? Why is it important? Because on the brink of collapse of systems, which happened some time ago, not so long time ago, on the brink of expansion, on the brink of crisis, on the brink of great success, you have always, at that brink, at that borderline, have an opportunity to fall down or come up. And if you do something for the people, people will be there for you, for your business. And when I say people, it doesn't have to be personal. Some businesses are in personal relationship. Those are the businesses that service your physical body, for example. But if, for example, you have a tracking company, or you have a store, or you have a number of different international businesses all over the world, you might not see that immediate result, but how you insert your energy into the business is the pebble of creation. That pebble, you send it in, and creation does happen because of that. So at the end, you still relate with the business owners, you still relate with the co-workers, and you still need to operate your business in cooperative mode. And you can only cooperate when you understand how other person operates. So if you don't know that, it's possible to calculate and understand through the birth day. Even if you don't know the whole birth date, which is very useful because birth date also gives you the action, why people do certain things and how they will always do it. But birth day gives you how people think. And once you understand that, you take your ego and you put it under the goal. For example, when you don't want to be in relationship with the person, you usually judge that person as somebody who's not like you, or they're not doing things the way you want, or they're not capable of doing what you want. And usually the judgment is a separation. Now you're separate. Now you don't have that person as a client, as a supplier. But maybe, just maybe, you could understand that person better. And the understanding of that person starts with, what does this person want? What does this person need in order to be exactly what I want him to be or her to be in my life? What is that facet of the person that I need to adjust in my own vision so I can see that? Because some people could have big egos and still be very great in business. In fact, people with big egos have amazing businesses because they're in charge and they're charged. So to bring your energy up, to get out of the judgment, blame, shame, guilt, obligation, and I told them and they didn't do it, expectation. In order to charge yourself, the relationship is extremely helpful, but not the relationship where you keep judging. If you go to understanding, I'd like to understand you. I understand that my goal of creating a cooperation and get the biggest talent, the biggest potential I can implement in my business through this person, because this person knows another person knows another person who knows another person who knows another person. And when you cut that person out, you cut the whole branch of people who might be very, very useful and very, very helpful in rising the energy of you and your business. So when you start understanding what this person needs, and you satisfy that one need, the major need, the dominant need, all of a sudden that person relaxes. Usually people get their ego up and fighting for what they need because they don't have it. And money is not necessarily only one thing that people need. In fact, most of the people don't need money. Money is just a tool. Just like you don't need the truck in your house, you need the work of this truck to give to the people, so people, when the truck delivers something, give you the money. And then you take the money and you buy something for you and, or your children, or you give a gift to somebody. And that's the whole chain of event. So you can feel great, that you can feel that you are an owner of the business that creates something great in the world. But you can start with that. You can just start with this intention. I want to create something great in the world. Who? Question number 2. What is question number 1? And who can I do it with? And who is not just who do I know, because that's another mistake that business owners do. Lots of my clients went that route. Who do I know? Who's in my family? Who's my friend? And they create a business with friends and family. That's great. If you are clear in your goal and your egos are under that goal, you will simultaneously move toward the goal. But very often it's not the case. When the money is not there, everybody's working really great. But when the money starts showing up, we start separating, because this is my money, I worked more, or I'm smarter, or I have more education, or I spend more time. Even if I'm not very efficient, I'm sitting in the business 10 hours instead of 8. 2 more hours I've sat there. Great. I can do things in 5 minutes. That's why I charge what I charge for my 15-minute sessions. By the way, you have them free for this 3 more days. Then I'm traveling. I'm not having any more slots. But today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, maybe a little bit on a Thursday, still I will have open time. So write me directly in Messenger, and I will respond to that and find the time for you if you want a strategic session. But the more experienced you are, the more expertise you have, the more cases you've studied, like I do with my clients every day, many cases, and throughout my life, being a leader, I've gained a lot of experience and expertise, just practical, on a practical level. Because you don't really have to start the business, lose the business, start the business, lose the business, unless you want to. You can learn. You can learn from other cases. That is so much easier and less painful, and your resources are with you. So if you're lacking energy, that means that your goal went under your ego, and maybe you want the status, maybe you want the money, and maybe you want also to give something to the world, but you're not positioning that something in the right position. So there are 9 universal laws that apply to business. There are many universal laws, but you can bring all of them to simple laws, which I always try to bring it to the simple because people don't remember. Law number 1, know what you want. If you don't know what you want, you go somewhere, you get something, but it's not exactly what you want because you didn't know what you want when you went. So what you want is your ego, and that's okay. Ego is not a bad word, it's your personality, it's your experience, it's what you know, it's what you want to know, it's what you want to experience, and that's okay. You can have it, that's absolutely okay, and allow yourself to have that. That's number 1 law, tells you you can have it. You can have exactly what you want. You don't need to compromise, because what you want is exactly what you're capable of, or you would not even think about it. But when you start thinking about it, you find other laws, which is, who am I going to do it with? And you get compromised right there. Oh, I don't have nobody, anybody who I talk about does not support me. Well, you're talking to your friends and family, and your surrounding got you where you are right now. This is the energy of your previous creation. And maybe to create something bigger, you need to expand. And don't lose your friends and family. Law number 2, do not close the door. Be together. Do not close the door, ever. Do not burn the bridges. We all do it, of course, once in a while. Especially, like, I'm very fast making decisions and very sharp. My tongue should shut up sometimes. Morning. So do not break the bridges, because you don't know who knows that person and who this person will talk to and talk to and talk to, and it will go and ripple the whole positive effect of your idea, of your business. So law number 1, allow yourself. It's okay. You can absolutely have it. It's absolutely yours. If you thought of it, Napoleon Hill, by the way, great author, Think and Grow Rich book, pretty useful. Busting Loose from the Money Game, also very useful book. There are many books about it. So what you need to remember is you create your own reality, which is the ality, all of it, cut to fit your frame. And you are watching the movie exactly where you can watch it. But if you expand, how do I expand? From here to here. When I expand my vision and I start looking more expandedly, I use my imagination. Imagination is not a dirty word either. It's your pineal gland connecting to the informational stream, very similarly to how radio or TV receiver gets the information and shows you the picture. Pineal gland is the ancient antenna. We don't use it much these days. It became like a pea, size of the pea, but it used to be the size of the golf ball. So you can do that practice even right now with me as you're listening. Imagine you have a golf ball inside, not the pea. Inside, inch and a half inside, right in the center of your head. And it's pearlized, a beautiful pearlized color. And you command it to spin. And see it spinning in all directions, receiving information. You activate that pineal gland by your intention, dropping the pebble of your intention to have a very expanded imagination, so you can think up the businesses and relationships that you need to create those businesses. All right. So back to the universal laws. You decide what you want, and if you don't think it's possible for you, immediately shift to universal law number 2. Somebody, anybody, there are bodies in this material universe that either did it already, so you can see how it's done, or they thought of it already, so you can read how it's done, or they are looking for you because they need a partner to do it right now with you. And you can find those relationships by keeping your attention on your intention. So part of this law is that we have intention, we have desire, we might even write it down. By the way, when you write it down, look toward the north, because north is where the energy of money comes from, the energy of inspiration as well. And when you finish writing, put it on the eastern wall so you can see it every day. Put it on your mirror in your bathroom as well, on the eastern part of your mirror, if it's possible. It will help you to be activated every day. So I'm giving you little life hacks, just because I know stuff and it's useful. So you might do it and look how it works for you, or you might not do it, and then you would not know how it works for you. Experience is everything. Energy for action is my old website. I've done it, I don't know how many years ago, but it's still very interesting. Lots of writing and movies on it. energyforaction.com. So if you want energy for action, you need to act and you get the energy. You need to walk up and forward, and then your body registers the movement and starts creating more movement. You need to set yourself into motion, because emotion, energy in motion, circulates in your body, kills your relationships, because you're not moving. So move with me every day. All right, next law. So the law of attraction is about creating relationships with everything, all the objects, material and immaterial. Some of you who are born on sevens, like me, 25 is 2 and 5 is 7, these people have that magical ability to materialize stuff. Believe it or not, things that are not in my existence, I think of it, it comes. Not every time. When I'm really focused, if I put my intention and then I put my attention on top of this intention to energize it, it comes to my view pretty fast. Some people do it. People that are born on 4 or whose summary of the day is 4 also have that magical ability. And people who are born on 2 or have the numbers of the day collapsing to 2, like for example 11s, these people too have this ability, but they materialize through relationship. They don't materialize from the thin air like I can do. That's why when I start thinking of a business, it happens for other people. When I work with somebody, they go like, "Can you believe it? It's crazy, but you know, they called me, they invited me, they did this." I'm like, yeah, I wish I could do it for myself. I can multiply other people's intentions. My intentions at this point of my life also materialize, but not as fast. Maybe I have some limiting belief that I have to be doing it alone. But the truth of the matter is, I love to work in partnerships. And when I am in partnership, because I'm 2, somebody who is above me, who is helping me making decisions fast, then I can move really fast when the responsibility is not solely on me, but I'm sharing the responsibility. So understanding who do you need to do it with and what that person brings into relationship. In relationship to yourself, you will figure out immediately what do you need. And in conversation, in connection heart to heart, not from your mind figuring things out, but talking, asking questions. This is important secret of relationship. We don't ask questions. I don't ask enough questions for sure, because I think I know. No, not really. I can speculate and imagine. But to get to the truth of relationship, you need to ask questions. And that question is, what exactly do you need? How can I be helpful? How can I create an opportunity for you to get it, to your dream? And how those 2 dreams can come together to create a bigger dream. So when you are asking and when you are understanding, you will see that there are only 6 needs, really. It's the need for love and connection. People feel unloved and they come to work to be loved, to be appreciated, to be noticed. Safety and security. People don't feel safe. We lost our ancient instinct to choose relationships that are safe, which are the relationship with the stronger person. We find weaker people because we feel stronger when we are with weak people. Isn't that contrary to your goal to be safe and secure and protected and supported? And then when we find that person and we become the commander-in-chief and the person in charge, we complain, and I have to do all of it by myself. It's because you're not incorporating law number 2. And law number 2 is all about being in a relationship of safety and security, so somebody can always protect you. You can also protect another person, yes, making decisions in the business that doesn't destroy the business from which both of you are getting material support, right? But that is like number Rule number 2. Because I don't know what's more important, understanding what you want or understanding who can help you with that. Because you can want and want and want and want and never get it just because you are not strong enough and you're not allowing a strong person to be next to you, helping you, directing you. Because in relationship, it's not who's in charge. It's how we can support each other. Relationships have different platforms, sometimes hierarchical, who's on top and who's at the bottom, or who's behind. For example, lots of women say, I want to be in a relationship that I could feel as if I am in a castle, as if I'm behind the wall and nobody can, penetrate this wall. And then find that kind of person, and that they can never come out from the wall. So you need to find what's comfortable for you, but definitely not having a relationship on the boxing ring in which you're punching each other, because both of them are so strong, and the ego is above your goal, and therefore your goal is compromised. So you could be as strong as you wish, but don't go to the business relationship with that person if you cannot put your ego under the goal and support the goal, not support your ego. Or change your mind and understand that in some cases you are strong, in some cases you're not, and learn. This is universal law number 3, which applies as a competence to everybody who's born on the 3rd, or the summary of the day creates number 3, like for example 12, 21. So when you start analyzing what's going on in my relationship, why my business is not working, why am I losing money, why am I losing resources, why the people that are working for me are so insufficient, they lose my money, they lose my time, I still have to pay them because I create a relationship, a cooperation, an agreement with people who are absolutely not satisfying my need of safety and security. And they don't love me, they love my money. They don't love my business, they don't even love their work. Then of course, you will see the leakage in the business. So you need to analyze. And when you analyze, you need to understand what is the purpose. Why am I doing it? The purpose is contribution. Any purpose for the business is contribution to the world, making the world better. And if you're focused on it, you will make your product better, you will make your structure better, you will make your finances fit that, you will manage your finances because you want to make your service better. And then the structure of the business grows toward this major goal of making the world a better place with your product or with your service. So the needs that we satisfy when we are looking into this is the need for contribution. We all have it. And also the need for personal growth. It's a different need. Some people personally grow all the time. They learn. They're in sessions and webinars and seminars and master classes. And I see people coming even in my broadcasts, in my classes, in my webinars, in my consultations all the time. No action. No action. Knowledge is not creating a business. The action does. Knowledge helps you to choose the right action. Knowledge helps you to get the right person. For that you need analysis. What's lacking? What's not there? What's not happening? So this is competency that is absolutely important in business, but it comes after your what. After what kind of contribution do I want to make in the world? Who will I cooperate with? I analyze that. I grow personally, so my ego goes under my goal, and then I have a chance. What kind of chance? To receive the right information, to be supported magically, mystically. It's not magically or mystically, but the right people feel your attraction field. They hear about your product, they hear about great ideas you have, and they want to participate because you are contributing to the world. And so this competency is usually missed. We hear information, we act on it. We hear another information, we act on it. And later on, we have a lot of action, not so much satisfaction. Because one of the human needs that we need to satisfy for ourselves and others is variety. We want things. We want material things, new dresses, new relationships, new travel, new businesses, more money, more of everything, and now. And maybe you're not ready to receive it yet. Maybe your consciousness is not ready. Lots of people tell me the story. If I have a lot of money, I might misuse it. I might do something. Or they say, when I have a lot of money, I'll bless everybody. I'll buy houses for everybody. All of that is an illusion. The truth of the matter is, when you are giving somebody a fish, they eat. If you give them the fishing pole, they don't know what to do with that. If you teach them how to fish, they'll get a fish. That's also good. But if the fish pole is broken, what's next? If you teach a person that they can make a fish pole and they can look for where the fish is, and then you can help them to walk together because you also might want to catch the fish. Here you are in relationship that is useful, practical, and absolutely in line with universal law of getting where you need to go with people that you need to go with, analyzing on a way if we are not deviating from our goal, and then you get to the place and you fish your fish and you fry your fish and you have a great Friday fry up, and then you can rest on the seventh day. Otherwise, on the seventh day, when God rested, we become restless. That's where we start analyzing the week. That's where we start thinking about how decisions were made and what inefficient results we've gotten. Then you lose your sleep, and then you lose your energy. And then on Sunday you're grumpy, and you have the problem with your spouse or your children because they are, with the rest of the world, because it's not just one place where you are. You might go somewhere and scream at the waitress in the restaurant, morning, and then at the end of the weekend, you're more tired than you were on Friday, and the Monday starts, and it's the beginning of the new cycle, and you have no energy for action. And off you go. With no energy for action, you come to work upset. People are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. They don't get the clear instruction from you. They continue doing insufficient work. You do not calculate properly because you're grumpy, and you are focusing on negative result instead of looking for solutions, which is competence number 4. And then 5 is about universal law that tells you if you do not communicate clearly and if you do not share your needs, your ideas, your offers, how you can be useful for the world, then you don't get any significance. You don't get to be powerful. You don't get to have an impact. And that is an important need, human need of being impactful, of being significant, important. Then you become important in your family. You scream at your children. That also works well for a while. Then children grow up and they don't want to deal with you. So I'm painting broad strokes about the energy of creation. The energy is not negative or positive. The energy is energy. It can affect the world in a certain way. And if it affects the world exactly how you want it to be, that means you're charged and you're in charge and you are moving forward in the direction that you want. And if you feel things are not the way you want, and at the end of the day you're more tired, or you're tired in the morning when you wake up, that means you're not effectively using your resources. And your resources are the resources of your business, because at the end, it comes from here, from there. The business comes from there. Your pineal open to the sky, open to the surrounding, being able to see what's available for you in this world, in this day, in this moment, creating relationships that can help you move forward, and sustaining relationships, because those are relationships that feed your energy, that feed your business, that create the material result. So I hope it was somewhat useful, but it's pretty general, because I'm not talking to you directly. I'm talking to you directly. I'm connecting to everybody who is on a broadcast, because if I see you popping up on my screen, I can feel your energy and I can talk to it, not because I'm intentionally doing it in a moment, but my intention before I start working is to connect with everybody I call The other intention is I'm always in service, and I am always a channel of the universal energy of love and creation. My love might not look like musi, pussy, usi, susi, that's not necessarily me. I am fast, I'm sharp, sometimes too sharp, but don't be afraid. I love you. It's just the way I love you is energy for action. I get you off your butt and go, and at the end you'll go, wow, that day turned my life upside down. But now, retrospectively, I see I absolutely needed it. But in the moment, it could feel as if something I've always wanted is actually happening, because for the first time of my life, I see the truth of who I am and who I'm with, and then I see the truth of how I can do things much better. So, let's finish here. I've been talking for, I don't know, 45 minutes or 50 minutes. I can talk for another 25 hours. Luckily, we only have 24 in a day. But I'm known for being able to talk. Just because I have 5 in my birthday, I can talk. And because I'm 7, I am a channel. Because I'm 2, I build relationships through talking. What are your relationships about? What do you need in your day? What do you need in your life? Think about it. What is the dream I always thought about, even when I was a little child? What did I want to do, and what did I do? And what people liked about me when I was 3 and 5 and 7 and 9. I know most of us are forgetting that, but those are the dreams that were compromised in relationships very often with the family or the businesses. And whatever didn't happen for you before does not mean it cannot happen now. Because every day God gives you the whole package, everything. But with our mind, we filter it. So my broadcasts are about stop filtering. Start doing things. Try things, experience things. If life is about experience, why yes? Yes, yes. Say yes. Never say no to anything. Try it. If you don't like it, you have a choice. But if you never try, you never know. So be in the experience of the day to day. Experience yourself fully. Let other people experience your fully. Talk to people. Ask them, what can I create for you that could be a possibility for the world and could be a new level of our relationship? What can we talk about that's meaningful? How can I show you that you are loved, that I'm connected to you? And what do you need to experience so you can be safe and that you can do things because you're absolutely safe and secure? And I'm holding that space for you, for every one of you on this broadcast right now, or people who are listening later, because I do have a big and expanded field, and I am not separate from that field, just like you are not. We're all in the energy of information, always plugged in, and therefore we can see and know everything simultaneously, just by intention to be more aware and more present. And today's broadcast is about being present in relationship to yourself, in relationship to your family. That's your first business. You have to set the system of that business to create material results. Fix whatever you need to fix, or call me. We'll see what happens and how you can do it better. Because you're not fixing the other person, you're fixing your gaze into the right direction, the right goal, right? And then relationship with your business, whether you have a business or plan a business, or you work for somebody else in somebody else's business, or even if you work for the government, doesn't matter. It's still a relationship to your work, your career, your contribution, and then relationship to the world. And the truth of the matter is, you start with this. What can I create for the world that trickles down to all the little relationships I create, so they can become bigger, stronger, and more useful? All right. With that, I continue walking, but I finish my broadcast. Connect and direct. Be direct in your connection. Much love.